come down to Vauxhall in South London to meet David Haye, the UK's best heavyweight boxer. We're going to go inside his gym to see what he does to prepare for a fight and then do a quick interview with him. I'm joined by the UK's best heavyweight boxer and two-weight world champion, David Haye. Hello, David.
How you doing? You all right, mate?
So your next fight is against hot prospect Tyson Fury. What would you say some of his strengths and weaknesses are?
I'd say one of his biggest strengths is his, his stupidness. It sounds crazy, but the guy is very, very ignorant. He's very stupid. But sometimes someone ignorant and stupid can be really effective because he doesn't realise what is needed, so he could sort of throw a curveball at me, maybe. So I'm going to need to be on my A game. Although I believe he's technically inferior to me, he makes up for a lot of that in his sheer size. He's 6'9". No, he's a solid 18 and a half stone. He's a big old mountain of a man. Plus, he's 24 years old. So he's young, he's hungry, he wants to prove himself to the world. He really wants to make his claim as the best heavyweight on the planet. And by demolishing me, he'll be right up there in the probably number 3 in the world if he can beat me, which he's not going to be able to do.
So normally it's you who's doing a lot of the kind of hyping of the fights.
Yeah.
It's a bit different this time because obviously he's very quotable and is a kind of bandit for a soundbite. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. I think, you know, boxing needs villains, boxing needs, you know, people with sort of these outlandish personalities, and you know, he's dropped some right clangers, you know. The last interview I saw of him, he said he's the greatest ever boxer that's ever lived and that will ever live. His quote, he was dead, he wasn't drunk when he said it. I'm the greatest, but better than Ali, better than George Foreman, Fraser. He's talking about the best ever and that will ever live. Unfortunately, the reality will strike him in the face on September 28th in the form of a right haymaker.
What is it that you bring to the table that he won't be prepared for?
I bring punching power. Sounds silly, but one of the most important things in boxing is to be able to punch hard, to get your opponent's respect and to knock them out. You know, the guys he's fought in the past haven't had that. Never a big puncher. He's got, I think, a 39% knockout rate going into the fight with Tyson Fury. Never fought any big guys in his life, and he knocked down Tyson Fury. Whereas I've got, I think, an 85 to 90% knockout ratio at heavyweight, fighting the biggest guys on the planet. So when you put our stats together, I think it just makes for an explosive knockout victory for myself.
How important is another crack at a Klitschko to you?
For me, it's paramount for me, getting a world title shot, getting another world title belt around my waist, whichever governing body it comes from, it's a must for me. You know, that's the reason why I'm fighting Tyson Fury, is to stay in the rankings, to keep my name out there and to let the Klitschkos know I'm still here.
So you put on a very polished performance against Chisora. Do you think that David Haye would cream either Klitschko?
Yeah, I think that performance, although it was good, as you said, it was a good performance, I think that distanced myself from fighting the Klitschkos. If I would have struggled on points or got knocked down or been hurt, then I think they'd thought, okay, let's fight David Haye, because you know, he wasn't looking that great. But I dispatched him. You know, Vitaly Klitschko took Derek Chisora 12 rounds in a close fight. He was struggling, he was really tired at the end of it. Yeah. I knocked Derek Chisora out in 5 rounds. So you have a Klitschko going 12 rounds with Chisora, tough fight, and you've got me knocking him out in 5 rounds, pretty easy. So you put those two performances together, why would they then want to go and fight me if they can fight more guys like Chisora?
How has moving up to heavyweight changed your physical preparation, both in terms of what you do in the gym and in terms of the way that you eat?
It hasn't changed as dramatically as people think. I just made sure I just increased my calorie intake, probably 2 or 3 times. Cruiserweight, I could make the weight. It wasn't that comfortable, but I could make the weight. So I'd have 3 months of real strict diet, you know, really cutting back on my carbs and still trying to do 2 training sessions a day and then having a little dry out close to the fight. It's not ideal, but I could do it, and a lot of boxers put their body through that. But at heavyweight, it's the complete opposite. I can, you know, eat 5, 6, 7, 8 meals a day if I need to. You know, I can do more weight training, stuff that I didn't really want to do too much at a cruiserweight, as I had to make a particular weight, and putting too much muscle on will only stop me getting down to the 200-pound, 90-kilo limit. And it feels good. I feel healthier at heavyweight than I did at cruiserweight.
How does it kind of manifest itself in your training? Like, give me, like, strength training wise, what were you kind of doing differently?
No, it hasn't changed that much. The strength sessions haven't changed. You know, I still tried to get as strong as possible. because you want to be able to hold your technique for the full 12 rounds. I don't physically try to get bigger bulk. I don't really do too much bulking training like a lot of boxers believed I would do going up to heavyweight, because I believe that I'd lose my advantage, which is speed. You know, I'd rather be 15 stone and very, very fast than 17 stone and kind of fast-ish, because I'd lose my timing. I'll be getting hit with more shots, and I believe I've got more chance of losing. I'm a heavy puncher, whether I'm at 14 stone, 15 stone. So as long as I'm athletic, as long as I can do all the drills, I can do all the training that I want to do in training with the weight that I am, I'm happy. I don't really get on the scales that often. It doesn't really matter. My weight isn't really a big factor. It's how I feel and what training goals I'm hitting.
You're not one of those heavyweights who really seems to kind of gas out during a fight. So what kind of endurance stuff are you doing to kind of build your stamina?
I make sure sparring, a lot of boxing-based training is done at maximum. You know, a lot of boxers go out there and they do this stuff here, just do a couple of rounds of, but what does that represent in a fight? How close to a fight is doing that? It's nothing like it in a fight. You're punching out 100% because you don't want to get hit back. So I make sure that I bring that same mentality into my training so I can punch hard and fast for 12 rounds. You know, a lot of people, I had a fight earlier in my career where I didn't train like that. You know, I trained to box and I went out there and had a fight. And I wasn't physically prepared, physically, mentally, or spiritually prepared for the battle that I put myself in, and I lost that fight. I think I was 24 years old. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but I learned that lesson. So come time for me to fight for a world title, I'd learned that lesson, so it wasn't going to happen to me there.
What parts of your training do you tend to enjoy the most and dislike the most?
I like the last 3 or 4 days of my training, as it's really easy. I'm in my best, I'm in my physical peak, and we're just tapering off. So all the hard graft, all the stuff where you feels like you're coughing up blood of lactate, you feel horrible, your legs are just dead, your back's killing you, that's all gone, and you're just feeling amazing, you're feeling recharged, ready for a fight. For me, the last 3 days for a fight, you know, I feel $1 million. I feel, you know, everything's firing, everything's sharp, everything's quick, you know, my brain's acting fast. Because I've had, you know, months of just eating clean and healthy, and every sort of fibre of my body is at its maximum. And I think for me that's the best part of my training, is the end of it. When
you're in the ring, do you have things like kind of sense of time changes and sense of like your kind of visual and audio senses, do they change? Are you aware of things going on around you?
No, you're not aware. Even as a youngster, when it's that tunnel vision. You know, even when you have a fight in the street, you're fighting someone here, so it's irrelevant if there's a gate here or a tree there. Your brain just blocks it out. It's irrelevant information that you don't need, that won't help you because someone's trying to beat you up in front of it. All you're focused on is this. You don't care that, oh, he's wearing a polo t-shirt or he's wearing Nike. No, it's just that's all you're focused on. And when I'm fighting, it's exactly that. I only focus on the things that matter. I can't hear any voices. I can't see any people, I can't see the ropes, I can't see the lights, all I see is just my opponent in front of me, and I can sort of hear the referee. That's it, and my coach. That's it. For some reason, out of all the thousands of people screaming, the only voice I can hear is my coach's. It's really weird.
In the past, you talked a bit about acting in movies. How kind of serious are you about that?
Very serious. You know, I know boxing, you can't box forever. I was supposed to have got out of boxing at the age of 30, that was my plan from the age of 10, but I'm 32 now and still going. I believe I've got, you know, ideally, 2 or 3 more fights, culminating me winning the heavyweight championship of the world back, and then I'll put all guns and all energies will be directed to becoming the best possible actor I can be.
How do you want to be remembered as a boxer?
I want to be remembered for a boxer who entertained, who fought bigger guys than himself. You know, always gave a great account of himself. You know, big puncher, someone who came from South London and became best in the world. You know, I've done it at cruiserweight. You know, I was the #1 undisputed champion. And I've won a version of the heavyweight championship of the world. But I want to recapture that and retire as #1. That's my ultimate plan. And if I can be remembered as that, I'll be very, very happy.